Coach Sassy Fit with Sassy Fitness. This is Coach Sassy Fit with Team Sassy Fitness.
Hello, hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. I am so looking forward to having this chat with you guys. But before we jump into today's topic, I want to remind you of something really important. First, your life does not change from what you do once in a while. It changes from what you do consistently. And I know that sometimes consistency feels boring. Sometimes it feels slow. Sometimes it feels like, is any of this even working? But let me tell you something. The healthiest, strongest, and most peaceful version of you is not built overnight. She is built in the quiet moments, the repeated moments, the daily decisions that nobody sees, the extra glass of water, the decision to walk instead of sit, going to bed earlier when you know you're tired, choosing balance instead of binging, speaking kindly to yourself instead of tearing yourself down. Those little habits matter. And I think sometimes we push so much pressure on ourselves to be perfect that we forget that progress is built through repetition and not through perfection. Stop trying to be perfect. No one is perfect. You don't need perfect eating. You don't need a perfect workout week. You don't need to start over every Monday. You just need to keep showing up, because consistency has a way of changing not only your body, but your confidence, your mindset, your energy, and your emotional stability. And eventually, the habits that once felt hard start becoming part of who you are. That's why today's topic matters so much, because we're talking about something that affects your energy, your focus, your cravings, your fat loss, and your sleep, and overall health more than most people realize. Your overall health is more important than most people realize. And one of the things that people don't focus on or don't think about is sugar. That's the tricky thing. Sugar is everywhere, not just in desserts, but sauces, drinks, snacks, healthy foods, coffee creamers, breakfast bars, and things marketed as healthy. That's why I always emphasize the importance of reading the backside of a label. Because if you only read the front side of a label, you'll be deceived each and every time. And over time, too much sugar can leave you constantly tired, craving more food, eating emotionally, and feeling stuck in cycles that are hard to break. But here's the good news. Reducing sugar does not mean you have to feel deprived. This is not about punishment. This is about learning balance, learning awareness, learning how to fuel your body in a way that supports your energy and your goals. So today, I want you to come into this session with an open mind, not with guilt. Put all that to the side. We're not coming in this class with guilt. No. We are not here to shame ourselves. We're here to learn. And the only way to learn is to listen without guilt. So come in to grow and make the small changes that will add up over time. Because remember, small habits repeated daily create big transformation. All right? So go ahead. If you need to pause this video, do that. Go grab you some water, go grab you a notepad, grab you a protein shake, whatever it is you need so that you can be focused during this time. All right, let's get into it. We're going to wait for some people to come in. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Come on, come on, come on in the room. Yeah, yeah. Hey, Jessica. Mm-mm-mm. Let's see who else we got. Dun, 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 dun. Hello there. Can you hear me okay?
Hello. Yes, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Trying to see if any other students are going to come on live. Otherwise, I guess they'll be, oh, here comes Isaiah. Um, they'll be coming in or watching it later, and that's okay. Oh, we got another one coming on in the room. Come on in the room. Come on, come on, come
Out
on
in
in the room.
the room.
All right, all right, all right. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this wonderful Teaching Tuesday webinar. Y'all know the session today is about how to reduce sugar without feeling deprived. And I'm super duper glad that you're here because today's topic is one of those things that impacts your energy, your cravings, your fat loss, and your overall health more than people realize. And that thing is sugar. And here's the thing. Sugar is everywhere, y'all. Not just in your desserts, but it's also in your sauces, snacks, drinks, healthy foods, even breakfast items. So if you ever picked up something you thought was healthy and checked the label, the back label, and saw a long list of added sugars, you're not alone. Because a lot of people do that. A lot of people don't even look at the back of the label. They look at only the front. And then they get deceived every time. But here's the good news. You don't have to eliminate sugar to make progress. I'm going to say that one more time. You do not have to eliminate sugar to make progress. Okay? So what you do need, though, is you need to be more aware and more intentional about what you're putting in your body. Okay, so today we're going to focus on why reducing sugar matters, where it's hiding, and make simple swaps and learn how to reduce it without feeling restricted. Because it's not about cutting everything out. I hear so often people saying things like, I'm not eating no sugar or whatever. Sugar is literally in everything, even in fruits, in certain vegetables, like it's everywhere. So it's not about cutting everything out. It's about making smarter choices that you can sustain. Because let's be real. Cutting completely sugar, cutting completely carbs, that's not sustainable. And then you're gonna end up binge eating because you've like deprived your body of having any of it. Don't do that to yourself. But for those who happen to be new, watching this back, I know everybody on the call is not new, but if anyone's watching this on replay, I just want to let you know that I am a certified weight loss specialist, health, fitness, and nutrition coach, military veteran, and a nationally qualified bodybuilding competitor. However, no one cares about that. All they care about is the fact that I'm here to help you build habits that work in real life and not just on paper. And we also have with us Coach Jessica, who is also a certified personal trainer. And she does the same thing. Help people learn how to lose weight in a sustainable way. Right?
Yep,
So
that's right.
before we dive into anything else, I want to do a quick check-in. Unmute yourselves, raise your hand, or drop in the chat. Where do you think you consume most of your sugar during the day? Let's talk about it. Where do you think you consume most of your sugar during the day?
And the carbs you mean?
Hmm? In your carbs? What type of carbs? Bread and fruit? Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Bread and fruit. All right. That's not bad. I've heard way worse. That's not bad at all. Anybody else?
Either carbs like breads and pasta and starches, or coffees.
You get do you make your own coffee or do you buy it?
I buy the grounds, but then like I put in the cream and sugar.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's most people.
Yeah, I would have to say I do the same thing as far as with the coffee.
Yeah, because I mean, what is coffee without creamer, right?
Exactly. With the
Yeah.
sugar.
But for me, I would rather have coffee and creamer than coffee, cream, and sugar because cream already has sugar in it.
Mm.
But, people like that extra sweet candy like deliciousness in the morning. So, yeah, there's that. But the thing is awareness is the first step. Once you are aware of where most of your sugar is coming from, then you can make adjustments, right? So let's break down sugar in a practical way. The reason why it is important to limit sugar is because when we consume too much added sugar, especially regularly, it can lead to increased cravings, energy crashes, weight gain, inflammation, and a higher risk of health issues like high blood pressure, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. And those are three things I'm trying to avoid. And I'm guessing you guys don't want to be dealing with that either. And if you are dealing with that, I'm pretty sure you want to figure out a way to get rid of it or reduce it, right? So for me, I did a test. I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but I did a test. Because usually when I make my coffee in the morning, it's usually my coffee, my favorite creamer, and I only put like a splash or whatever, except on the weekend I might put a little bit more than a splash. And then I would use my Truvia or a little bit of agave. That's my usual way of making my coffee. But I was like, let me try something. I'm gonna try brown sugar for a week instead of the Truvia or the agave, right? First and foremost, let me tell you, the amount of brown sugar you have to use to get to the flavor that you want, just using a little bit of agave, you have to use more. And I noticed on the scale that my weight was climbing and my clothes were starting to fit different just from trying it for a week. And I was like, yeah, we're not doing that anymore. So I went back to my usual way and, continuing with my exercise and nutrition and all that, and the weight came off. So that goes to show you how significant adding that extra sugar can cause things to slow down or the weight to increase, right? And here's what many people don't realize. Sugar doesn't just affect your body. It also affects your behavior. That's why as a kid, you can ask Isaiah, I didn't give them candy growing up. I did not bribe, oh, you want some
Nope.
candy? Oh, you want some? Absolutely not.
Nope.
Absolutely not. And they've never had cavities. They've never had any of that stuff. Because I didn't give them candy like that. You want something sweet? Okay, we can go get some ice cream. We can have a cheesecake, or we can have their favorite cereal. But I did not give them candy. And the more you consume sugar, the more your body is going to crave it. It's like a drug. people with sweet tooth or sweet teeth, if you take their sugar away, listen, I done seen some people who are hooked on sugar, and it is not any better than being hooked on some of these other drugs out here. Like, the withdrawals are insane. The only difference is sugar is more accepted societally than those drugs are. But it has the same effect. So, another thing is sugar isn't always obvious. It hides in foods like salad dressings, granola bars, flavored yogurts, protein bars, sauces, and condiments. And that's why I make recommendations on the better option of foods that you like. And people are like, oh, I've never tried that before. Oh, I didn't know. Because they're accustomed to like going to certain things. Like those Chobani flip yogurts, candy. But if you go and get the Oikos Zero Triple Zero yogurt, you get the Greek yogurt without all the added sugar. So you definitely can have what you like, but you got to pay attention to what's in it. They have this salad dressing called Skinny Girl. Same type of dressing, not as nearly as much sugar in it. And so for me, it's more about quality. A lot of people are like, "Oh, food is expensive." Okay, yeah, we understand food is expensive, but for me, I would much rather spend my top dollar on quality food than going out to eat on something else. A lot of people will spend their money on frivolous things like going to the movies or going to concerts or going to entertainment, but then buy the cheapest thing when it comes to food that doesn't have the best quality. So even when you think you're eating healthy, you might still be over consuming sugar. And that is why awareness is so important. So let's shift the mindset to this is not about cutting everything out. And this is not about saying, I can't have this. And it's not about feeling restricted, because we don't do restriction over here, do we? Because is restriction sustainable? Absolutely not. Restriction is not sustainable. Instead, think about replacing and not restricting. Replacing or making a healthy swap. That's why I like doing those videos where I'm like, this versus that. You know what I'm saying? Or letting people know, okay, if you like this Chobani yogurt, the flips, instead of having that, have this, because that has more sugar in it than this. Or instead of this, have that. Instead of the Nature Valley granola bar, get the Kind bar. You know, healthy swaps is very important. Instead of these so-called protein drinks that are in the produce aisle, what is it, like the green machine smoothies and all that stuff that don't have no protein and a bunch of sugar in it? Instead of that, get the, what do you call it? The Premier Protein Shake. 1 gram of sugar, 30 grams of protein. Tastes great. Right? And they have so many different flavors that you can try and see which one is your favorite. My personal favorite is cookie dough. So yummy. And the lemon drop tastes like lemon cake. It is so good. Woohoo! It's so good. I don't like chocolate, so y'all can have that. But there are good things that you can swap. So here are a few simple ways to satisfy your sweet tooth. One of them, we all know, and Mama Frances says she eats this fruit. It's naturally sweet. So if you're consuming most of your sugar from fruit, that's not a bad thing at all. Because it's not only is it naturally sweet, it's packed with fiber and nutrients, and it helps to curb your cravings. And that's why I always say protein and fiber, right? Those are the two things that we should be aiming for, protein and fiber, because those two things alone are going to help keep you full. If you're stuffing up on sugar and carbs only, you're not gonna be full for very long. Like eating cereal for breakfast? What? That's not breakfast, that's a snack. Cereal is not breakfast because you're gonna eat cereal, start driving to work, and be sitting in traffic hungry. Because that's not breakfast. So you need to make sure that you like even if you get like something with fiber in it, if you were to get something like cereal with raisins or something like that, that might hold you a little bit longer, but you still gonna be hungry. That's not gonna hold you very long at all. So a good example would be swapping dessert for berries or an apple with peanut butter. I love my green apples with peanut butter. So good. I remember when I used to go to work, I used to get a 15-minute break at 4 o'clock every day. And my 4 o'clock break always consisted of apples and peanut butter every single day. And you couldn't tell me I ain't look good. Another thing is Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt is great. Not the Chobani Flips because that's full of sugar. Not the one with all the candy in it. You know, people want to feel like they're eating healthy because they're eating yogurt, but they're choosing like the highest sugar version because, oh, it's healthy because it's yogurt. No, the ingredients matter. The ingredients matter. So Greek yogurt is also high in protein. It will keep you full. You can ask Isaiah. I have my Greek yogurt with my chia seed gel and my berries or my granola, whichever one I choose for that day.
Mm-hmm.
And it also you can choose unsweetened and you can add your own sweetness to it. Or you can get the Oiko Zero, 000, and get the flavored one. And you can add your toppings to it. However,
And it's bussin'.
Bussin'.
And it's funny that you were mentioning talking about the ingredients, looking at the ingredients and how much sugar and everything, and making healthier swaps. As you're talking about this, I'm thinking of these videos I'm watching with this guy that's talking about different foods that he used to get as a kid all the time that had all this sugar and all the preservatives and all of that, and what switches he made that helped him lose weight and all of that. Is so inspiring.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a lot of foods that I grew up eating that I would not dare touch because, there are healthier swaps for those. And I understand sometimes money is tight and you have to get what you can afford. But even in getting what you can afford, you got to be real with yourself. Because if you saying you don't have money, but you don't have money for groceries, but you going to the drive-through and you're going out to eat, you're literally spending more money doing that than you would going to the store and buying something that's more healthy. Fruit doesn't cost that much. You can get a lot of it for a lot less than going to a drive-through getting a meal. I mean, drive-through, I don't eat in the drive-through, but from what I've heard, drive-through meals are expensive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are.
I mean,
considering I used to work in a fast food restaurant, I can attest to that.
yeah, drive-through meals, you know how much you can buy to feed a family? You can make some spaghetti with meat sauce and ground beef, add some cottage cheese because cottage cheese don't cost that much to add more protein. And you know how far spaghetti can stretch? Like if you don't have a whole lot of money, you can throw in some mixed vegetables. Frozen mixed vegetables don't cost that much. And you can season them, pan sear them however you cook them and throw them right in there with the beef. And you got veggies in your spaghetti. That's what I did with my kids since they were small. I've been throwing vegetables in a pot since then. You save a lot more money cooking at home than saying, oh, I don't have money. Because if you have money to go to the drive-thru, if you have $7, and you go to the drive-thru, I bet you're going to spend that whole $7 on one meal. But you can go to the store, you can go to Walmart or Aldi, whatever your store is, and you can buy a thing of sauce, some ground beef, and some pasta, and that meal stretches for more than one meal.
Especially if you get the protein pasta, which is even more filling than just the normal pasta.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. Uh-oh. I see Mama Francis trying to talk. Hold on, I'm trying to help you unmute. Do you see? There you go.
Yeah, I haven't. I heard her say the protein pasta. I haven't tried that one yet. I will look for it.
There is protein pasta.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives you a little. I'm sorry?
I said because I like pasta.
Right. And you also, Mama Francis showed me they have protein wraps. Like the fiber wraps, they have high protein fiber wraps.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like your stuff will stretch further. You can go to Sam's and get a thing of deli meat. I like roast beef. You can get a thing of deli meat and some wraps and some lettuce that you can chop up and make those meals stretch. Versus going to a drive-thru and getting one meal, then you got to spend $7 a day, $7 tomorrow, $7 the next day, or $10 today, $10 tomorrow, $10. That's $50 in 1 week. That's you could have bought groceries with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, make it make sense. I don't understand when I hear people say I don't have money for groceries, but then I hear about them going into a drive-thru buying food. You could have went to the store. And the meals don't have to be complicated. And at least when you go to the store, you know what's in your food. You know how much sugar you're consuming because you're buying the ingredients. I am the queen of convenience. You hear me? I will cook a crock pot meal and a skillet meal in a minute. If I'm tired, I'm going to meal prep, but it's going to be a skillet meal prep, or I'm going to put everything in the crock pot and I'm going to relax because I'm tired. And then when it's done cooking, I'm going to put it into my bowls. Because the excuse of not having time or not feeling like it is not, your excuses don't care about your goals. Your excuses don't care. Either you want to lose weight or you don't. And if your actions don't align with what you say you want to do, something needs to change. Either your goal needs to change, stop saying you want to lose weight because your actions are saying I don't want to lose weight and I'm comfortable where I'm at. Or your actions need to change. You need to start doing what it takes to get to that weight loss goal that you're trying to get to. And I know it's easier said than done, but if, like I said before, if you put one foot in front of the other and you're intentional and you are consistent and you take one different step every single day that's going to lead you to what your goal is, then you can make progress. But until then, it's not happening. I said what I said. So let's also talk about some common options and some alternatives, because that's what we've been talking about, how we can swap things, right? My favorite, and I mentioned it already, as far as sweetener, is Truvia. They have a brown sugar one, y'all. Oh, I was beside myself when I saw they had brown sugar. Because I like the flavor of brown sugar. It has like the little molasses, little hint of that. It's good. Mama Francis, I think you tried some of my brown sugar Truvia, haven't you?
Yes, I did.
It's good.
I need to get in on that.
It's good. I was so sad. I went to buy some more, and I went to Publix, and they didn't have the brown sugar, so I got the regular one. So now I gotta wait till I run out of that before I get more brown sugar. But the brown sugar one is my favorite. But stevia, Truvia is good because that is a natural sweetener that comes from a plant. It's a natural sweetener that comes from a plant. It's natural, it's 0 calorie, it doesn't have your blood sugar spike, and it's great for coffee, tea, and oatmeal. And you don't need a whole lot, because trust me, if you put too much, it's not going to taste good. You don't need a whole lot. Another good sweetener choice is monk fruit. Same thing, 0 calorie. It tastes similar to sugar, and it's great for smoothies, for baking, and for drinks. My favorite out of all three, now I like the Truvia, but my favorite, because we here to be honest and real, my favorite is agave. It's lower glycemic than sugar. It's still a form of sugar. It also comes from a plant, and you don't need a lot. I mean, I would say maybe a teaspoon of agave is equivalent to like maybe 3 or 4 teaspoons of sugar or more to get the taste. That's what I'm talking about. To get the flavor that you're looking for, you don't need a whole lot. And this is one that you need to use sparingly because it does have calories in it, but it's much lower glycemic than sugar. It's not gonna make your sugar spike and all that stuff. If you want to make a swap from, if you're using sugar in your coffee, I use honey in my tea. I don't use sugar. I heard somebody say they was putting sugar in their tea, and I was confused. I was like, sugar in tea? I thought honey and tea was just automatic, like they're married. That like you can't have one without the other. But sugar in your tea? I thought tea was for like your throat or like your chest or like your stomach issue, or maybe maybe you bloated, or maybe your stomach is a little uncomfortable and you're drinking tea. But why would you, if those are the things that tea is usually made for, why would you put sugar in that? I thought honey it's like yin without the yang, you know? So I don't put agave in my tea either. Because like that's like putting sugar in your tea to me. So just be mindful of that. Like think about why am I putting sugar in this? Do I really need sugar in this? Like why am I drinking tea? If I'm and I can drink tea without anything, honestly. Just water and tea. I don't have to have anything in it, but I'll add honey like if I need it for singing or for my throat or something like that. I'll use a little bit of honey. And also agave is the plant-based version of honey. Most vegan ears out there, they don't use honey, they use agave because it's the plant-based version, because agave comes from bee vomit. So it's not plant-based. You wanted to add something, Jessica?
Oh, no, I wasn't going to add anything.
Oh, okay. And then you want to understand that the goal is not to overload on substitutes. Just because it's a substitute don't mean you got to go crazy with it. The goal is to reduce the overall dependency on sweetness. Right? And the biggest thing here that I say a lot is make sure you're reading the labels. One of the most powerful tools you have is reading the labels. A lot of people don't want to read. They just look at the front and grab it. Oh, this tastes good. So what you need to do is read the labels, turn it on the back. Because all of the, I purposely one time, I was walking down the cereal aisle because I was getting some tea, right? They have tea and coffee on the cereal aisle. And as I was leaving the aisle, I saw like 3 different types of cereal with high protein on it. And I looked at that cereal and I started laughing. I was like, nah, y'all need to stop playing. So I took upon myself to pick the cereal up and turn it over on the back. And you know what I saw? It was way more sugar and carbs in that cereal than it was protein.
Mhm.
So is that a protein cereal? Absolutely not. Y'all lied on the marketing label to get people to buy it. But they do that all the time.
Right.
Just because it says FDA approved don't mean it's good for you. Because the FDA has been approving a lot of stuff that we shouldn't be eating. like the bioengineered cereals.
Yep, all that bioengineered stuff.
I don't want no bioengineered anything.
Yeah,
Like, I
FDA
know
don't
that
really.
some foods have to be processed, like oats and things like that. But if it's bioengineered from a lab, from a science, no, thank you.
I've just seen the labels they put on potato chips. And now they say real potatoes. And I'm like, well, what was I eating before?
Right,
Eating real potatoes.
right.
Boy, they put that on the back of the potato chips anyway.
If you have to put real on there,
Yeah,
Right.
on the front. They have it on the front now. If you
that's
look
a
at
red
Oh,
flag.
okay.
on the
Yeah.
front, and I'm like, real potatoes, ladies. I thought that's what I've been eating all along. What have I been
Mm-hmm.
eating?
They try to get you, man.
Mm-hmm. And they get a lot of people. They get a lot of people. Because look at how many people on this call that I'm educating about this compared to how many people are in the world.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Not everybody is open to learning about that. They just want to eat. I've heard
Mhm.
people say, "What's the purpose of worrying about what you're putting in your mouth? It's just eat it." I'm sorry. I love my body a little bit too much than just to be putting anything in my mouth.
Mhm. Right.
That
Yeah,
doesn't
well,
even
think
make
about it. Like
huh?
they say, you are what you eat. Like they say, you are what you eat. So if you're eating genetically modified stuff, like yeah,
That means you're
just
going
look at how
right.
that sounds. Yeah.
You are. You are what you eat. And that's an example I use whenever I see people at the gym that go to the gym day in and day out and they look the exact same day in and day out. They haven't lost any weight. They haven't built any muscle. That's a telltale sign of you are what you eat. Because
Mhm.
best believe if what you're doing when you're not at the gym
Mhm.
is eating healthy, you're going to see the changes from the gym. But if what you're not doing in the gym is eating garbage, nothing's going to change. You're going to stay right where you are. You might not gain, but you're definitely not going to lose. Because if you're continuing to eat in a surplus of what you're burning, nothing's changing.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
hate to break it to you, but that's what it is. Nothing's going to change. And also, if you are compounded with stress and you have not found ways to navigate that, that's going to hinder your weight loss as well. I say time and time again, stress is the number one killer. And if you don't find ways to navigate that and to um like get rid of that, get that off of you, stop taking on things that don't serve you,
Mhm.
then guess what? You're hindering your goals.
If you can't have good boundaries in life, you're not going to have good boundaries when it comes to food.
Period. Say that one more. Hold on. Say that one more time for the people in the back. One more time. One more time.
If you can't have good boundaries in life, you're not going to have good boundaries with food.
Period. Period. I couldn't have
Yep.
said that no better. What? Yes.
Mhm.
And the relationship you have with food is key as well. We have to get rid of that all or nothing mindset of I need to eliminate eating in order to lose weight. What? How you gonna lose weight if you not eat? People like the most popular thing I've heard is from people who are trying to lose weight is you would think I eat McDonald's every single day because of how I look, but I barely eat at all. Where you're that's just as bad.
Yeah.
You think because you don't eat that's gonna help you lose weight because guess what? The minute you do eat and it's McDonald's, your body holding on to that because
Right.
he or she is like, I don't know when you gonna feed me again.
Yeah.
Mhm. And I think the reason they're saying that is because technically you do lose weight not eating. You just lose the wrong type of weight.
Yeah. And the goal here is not weight loss, it's fat loss.
Mhm.
Because weight comes in so many different ways. You have water weight, you have um bloating, you have inflammation. All of those things can make the number on the scale go up. So if you're stressed, your inflammation is going to go up. You're going to be inflamed.
Mhm.
If you're bloated, if you're not going to the bathroom, if you're not pooping every day, at least twice a day, not once, twice. And if you're not pooping every day, period, you're backed up. Something's wrong. And if you're relying on laxatives to help you poop, your body is going to not treat you right. It's not going to go on its own. It's like a person who relies on alcohol to function. They're not going to know how to function without alcohol. It's like a person that functions on pain pills. They're not going to be able to function without it. So if you rely on laxatives to go poop, your body won't go poop without it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the truth. That's like putting a Band-Aid. I can't go poop. Let me go take this laxative. No. Why are you not pooping? What are you eating? What are you not eating? What have you done to your gut health? What is going on? The reason you're not able to go to the bathroom.
People don't want to face that.
Yeah, that's the topic people don't want to talk about. They think it's disgusting. Well, guess what? Everybody does it. I don't care how cute in the face and thick in the waist you are. Everybody does it.
Mm-hmm.
If all babies poop, you don't think all grown people supposed to poop? They don't ask no questions. They just do it because it's a part of our makeup. You have to get rid of toxins. You have to get rid of the waste. That's just like saying I'm not gonna pee every day. How is peeing more normal than pooping? You do it. You drink water. You're flushing things out. It's gonna come out.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that goes in has to come out.
Yeah.
How you think babies are born? Yeah, let's just tie it all back to life.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever goes in has to come out.
Right.
So you have to think about that when you're consuming foods. And most of all, you want to be mindful of what you're eating. So read labels. And when you read those labels, look for things like added sugar and hidden names like high fructose corn syrup. And they try to be slick. They might not put the high fructose part in it, but it says corn syrup.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to be eating that. Cane sugar, agave nectar, syrups. A lot of people might not know what those names mean and they don't take the time to look it up. But that's what hidden sugars look like. Also look for serving sizes because sometimes sugar can look low until you realize that you're eating 2 to 3 servings of whatever that food is. So serving sizes matter. I had to educate a client a while back. They had bought a bag of chips and ate the whole thing. And when they logged it as 1 serving. And I said, did you eat that whole bag? She said, yes. I said, turn it over on the back and read the label. I said, read the serving size. How many servings is in that bag of chips? She said 4. I said, you just ate 4 servings of chips and logged it as 1 serving. She's like, I thought I was able to eat the whole bag. If you were able to eat the whole bag, it would say serving size 1. Like the little miniature bags, 1 serving size. But if you eat the whole thing, I'm not saying you have to stick to the 1 serving, but you need to be mindful of the fact that if you eat the whole thing, you're eating several servings of that food. Yeah. I said, so you see how many calories is on there? It says 350 calories. Multiply that by 4. That's how many calories you just ate.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, I did not know that. Well, you could have chose something other than those chips to eat with that meal.
That's 1,400 calories right there.
Yeah.
From a bag of chips. And that's why understanding how to read labels, and I did a class on that, understanding how to read labels is important. So let's reflect for a moment. Ask yourself, where is sugar sneaking into my routine? And what's one swap I can realistically make this week? Go ahead and reflect on that.
What was the second part of your question?
What's one swap I can
Oh,
realistically make this week?
mhm.
And once you're done
And
reflecting,
once you're done reflecting,
go ahead and write in the chat.
go ahead and write in the chat.
Why am I hearing myself
Why
again?
am I hearing myself again?
Yeah, I hear
Did I hear
That's funny. So go ahead and ask your. I'm
so go
sorry.
ahead
Go
and
ahead
ask you,
and
I'm sorry, go ahead
write
and
in the chat. That's
write
really
in the chat.
distracting me. Hold on a
That's really
second.
distracting me. Hold on a second.
Let me see who that
Let me
is.
see.
Okay, I think I found it. All right. So write in the chat. One way I'll reduce my sugar this week is how. Like write down the swap that you decided. What are you swapping? Or you can say it out loud. You can unmute yourself and say it out loud.
Okay. I'm thinking
Okay.
probably swap out the brown sugar for using agave more.
Okay. And you won't even need that much. What do you use brown sugar in?
Um, I so with my coffee,
You use brown sugar instead of agave?
yes, mom.
Oh, okay. Oh, and also those things that already have a lot of sugar in it, like those instant oatmeal packets, you shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
be adding sugar to that.
Right. Okay.
You shouldn't be adding sugar to that. It's already enough sugar, like you don't need to add sugar to that. It's already sweet by itself. And the thing is when you don't reduce the amount of sugar that you take in, you feel like you need it.
Right. It's like a craving at that point.
Mm-hmm. Mama Francis says she don't do sugar. I know that's right. Do you do agave? No, just the. I can't hear you. Hold on.
me. I have
Huh?
on a, and it's not a regular for me. I do the Truvia.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I'm gonna take that back. Every once in a while, I will use sugar on something. I'm trying to think. If I get sometimes like some applesauce, I do Truvia in it too. I might put it in. What do I put it in? I don't hardly use it. I'm trying to think what it.
Yeah, I don't think I use sugar at all either.
Very
Yeah.
rarely. I have it because other people that come, like my granddaughter, if she wants sugar, then I do
Mhm.
have some. But she doesn't do a lot of it.
Yeah, I
About
keep it for the same reason.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't use it, but I have it, for if somebody happen to come over and they be like, "Where your sugar at?" Because I don't use sugar. But my sweeteners of choice is Truvia, agave, honey. I don't even really like maple syrup. People laugh at me because when I order pancakes, I don't put nothing on. As long as I have my butter spread,
I don't either.
I don't need syrup. I don't even think I like the taste of syrup, honestly. I like honey and
Yeah,
I like
syrup ain't
agave.
for me either.
Yeah, and it's funny because I was like, and I buy the organic maple syrup. That's just the ingredients is just pure maple syrup. Like the other stuff, the Aunt Jemima and all that other stuff got all that other stuff in it. I buy the organic maple syrup because my husband likes syrup, and I um I I tried it on my waffles yesterday, and I was like, nope, I don't like syrup. I don't like maple syrup. I like when if I'm making something. I know some people when they make their hot cereals and stuff, they'll use maple syrup. Nope. I like honey and agave. And if I'm making like porridge or cream of wheat for the family, I use a little bit of sweetened condensed milk, which already has sugar in it. Sweetened condensed milk and half and half, and a little bit of agave. But I don't use sugar because a lot of that stuff already has sugar in it. Like I've seen some people on social media that make like desserts and stuff for like big events or holidays. I saw this one person making a sweet potato pie, and girl, she used sweetened condensed milk, brown sugar, white sugar, butter. I was like, she lost me at the condensed sugar and brown sugar because I feel like you don't need both. I'll do sweetened condensed milk and honey or agave, and that's it. And then my cinnamon and all my other stuff. But sweetened condensed milk, brown sugar, white sugar, and
It's the
then
brown sugar and the white sugar combined for me. Bro, what?
I was like, oh, I wouldn't eat that. That's too sweet. I'll be like, you be like, oh, that's too sweet. Like kind of how you do when something too salty. You be like, oh, yeah.
Sour.
Yeah. So, yeah, being mindful of like just all, even with desserts, I like to make my own dessert, and my desserts are fantabulous, and I don't put all that stuff in there. So, yeah. And then when I saw Mama Francis do it with the pancakes, I was like, oh, I'm not the only one. I just need the butter spread, and that's it. I don't need, because I like the taste of the, when they make it in the, you know how, well, my grandma, when she would make cornbread in the skillet, oh, it's so good. I like that taste. I don't need the syrup on there. I don't like syrup. But yeah, I'll eat it just like that. People be looking at me like, you ain't gonna put no syrup. I don't need syrup. I put my egg in there and whatever and eat it like the sandwich. So, but yeah, just understand that reducing sugar supports better energy, fewer cravings, improved fat loss, and more stable habits. And y'all already know what the foundation is. I said every single week. Track your food, because you can't measure anything that you don't track. You can't fix anything that you don't track. You can't know what you're eating or not eating or what you're deficient in if you don't track. So track your food, hit your protein and calorie goals, drink your water, move your body daily, even if it's going for a walk, but move your body daily. Make sure you do some type of strength training, resistance training at least 3 times a week. And make sure you get adequate sleep, 7 to 9 hours. That's your game plan. That is the game plan. The game plan is simple. If you follow that simple game plan, you are guaranteed to get to your goals. Mama Francis reached her goals, and now she's maintaining it. Been maintaining it for what, a year now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Been maintained. She done met her goal, and she's still here because she want to make sure that she can maintain it. That's the thing. Oftentimes people get to their goal and they say, okay, I don't need this no more. I can do it by myself. And then they realize quickly, no, I can't do it by myself. I don't have them. I need that accountability. Right?
Right.
So make sure that you understand that you don't have to eliminate sugar completely. You just need to be aware and intentional of how much you are consuming.
Right.
Okay? So let's open up. What stood out most to y'all today?
Yep.
What stood out most about our topic today?
How much how many foods actually contain hidden sugars?
Yep.
Yeah. Making sure we're reading labels and observing, the content, the sugar content, and
Mm-hmm.
so
Absolutely.
too, those are things I look at when I see it. I look for fiber, I look for protein, so
Mm-hmm.
those are things I look for. And fat, how much fat is in it, fat content.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So your homework assignment this week is to identify your high sugar habit.
Mm.
Identify your high sugar habit and swap it with a smarter option. Whether it's fruit, Greek yogurt, a lower sugar version, swapping out maybe brown sugar, like Isaiah said, for agave, or not adding extra sugar to things that don't need it, that already has a lot of sugar, right?
Mhm.
And make sure you read labels daily. And once you learn a specific food that you eat and you know that is good because you've read the label, stick with that. You don't have to break something that's not broken.
Right.
You don't have to reinvent the wheel. It can be as simple as ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. A lot of times we like to overcomplicate things, and it doesn't need to be overcomplicated.
No.
So remember to ask yourself, what's one way I can reduce my sugar this week? What's one swap I can make? All right? And that's it for today's session. But I do want you to remember that sugar is easy to overconsume, especially when it's hidden. Make your food at home. Plan ahead.
Yeah.
Small swaps make a big difference. Awareness gives you control. And you don't need restriction, you need intention. Pay attention to what you're putting in your mouth. That's one thing you can control. You might not be able to control what's being put inside food, but what you can control is what you put inside your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to give up everything you enjoy. On Mother's Day, I went to Cold Stone and I had me an ice cream cup because I could. But do I eat ice cream cups every day?
No.
Do I eat ice cream cups every weekend?
No.
No, I don't. But I sure had one. And it had Oreos and Reese's in it. And I enjoyed every bite. Right? So you don't have to give up everything you enjoy. But you need to be intentional. And if you know it's something that you struggle with, that like, if I have this, I'm not going to be able to stop, don't even have it. Don't put it in your house. You need to make sure that you make choices that support your goals.
That's right. That's why I had to stop baking pound cakes.
Yep, I stopped doing that too. Cause
Stop buying pecan sandies. Those are things that I couldn't, like can't eat just one or can't eat just a little bit. You got to keep
right.
going.
That's why I go to Cold Stone. That's why I go out places, because
That's
you gotta.
right.
That takes. Yeah, I don't need
I
it in my
enjoyed
house.
the pound cake Sunday. Like you said,
Yeah, yeah, and you are allowed to do that. Nobody said you got to live your life in restriction. Nobody said you have to live your life and not enjoy things that are out there for you to enjoy. It's all about intentionality. Everything that we have or consume needs to be with a purpose.
Yes.
Even though water is good for you, even if you overconsume water, it's detrimental. Fruit is good for you, but even if you overconsume fruit, it's detrimental. Too much of anything is not good. And you definitely don't want to be over consuming on processed high sugar foods than you do real whole foods. I didn't say cut it out. I say you don't want to over consume it.
Feedback.
You had something, Jessica?
Oh, I was saying it's all about, like you said, not so much restriction, but it's balancing the what and how much and the types. Yeah.
Right.
About balance.
Exactly. So, before we close, I would love to know one word that describes how you want to feel when your energy is stable and your cravings are under control.
Mhm.
One word.
Confident.
I love it. What about you, Isaiah?
Um, uh, better.
Better? Okay. All right. Well, that is it for today. I thank you guys for being here as always. Thank you for showing up and thank you for committing to your health. I look forward to seeing you next Teaching Tuesday as we continue building habits that last. And we're going to be talking about protein for hormonal health and metabolism.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people undereat on protein.
Yeah.
All right. So let's keep moving forward and make this week the best week ever. And until next time, Chiquita Nicole, Sassy Fit is.
This is Coach Sassy Fit with Sassy Fitness.